Hello and welcome to Exploring the Mittens. My name is London Drysdale and I'm your host of this online TV show program. And tonight we go to Hartwick Pine State Park in Grayling, Michigan in Crawford County. This is all on tonight's episode of Exploring the Mittens. Now, on Exploring the Mittens, we are off to Hartwick Pines State Park. Now, enjoy this slideshow of some beautiful pictures from Hartwick Pines State Park while I tell you about the history. Hartwick Pines State Park is a 9,672-acre state park in the U.S. state of Michigan, located in Crawford County near Grayling and Interstate 75. It is the third largest state park on Michigan's Lower Peninsula and the state's fifth biggest park overall. The state park contains an old-growth forest of white pines and red pines that resembles the appearance of all of northern Michigan prior to the logging era. The Hartwick Pines are a 49-acre old-growth remnant of a pine growth that was withdrawn from logging by a local timbering firm in 1927. At the time, very little old-growth forest pine remained in northern Michigan. One of the heirs of the firm's original owners, Karen Mickelson Hartwick, donated the grove, which was then 85 acres in size and 8,000 surrounding acres of cut-over land to the state of Michigan as a memorial to logging industry. The state accepted the gift and worked with the Civilian Conservation Corps, or the CCC, to build the Hartwick Pines Logging Museum adjacent to the grove. The museum was erected in 1934 to 1935. It contains recreated exhibit rooms, photographs, and artifacts of lumber boom years of northern Michigan, which I will show you later in this episode. The museum is located in two replica logging camp buildings and also contains outdoor exhibits of the logging equipment and an enclosed steam-powered sawmill that is operated during summer special events. The logging museum is administered by the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, or the Michigan DNR, Michigan History Museum. On November 11, 1940, the Armistice Day blizzard badly damaged the Hartwick Pines old-growth pine grove. 36 acres of old trees were destroyed by wind throw from this and other storms, leaving behind the 49 acres that remain alive as of 2007. The Michigan Forest Visitor Center opened in 1995 and is a year-round facility. The building contains an exhibit hall on the history of the forests in Michigan, an auditorium classroom space, a bookstore operated by the non-profit Friends of Hartwick Pines, and restrooms. A state recreational pass is required to enter the park. Visitors are encouraged to park at the visitor center and walk an accessible trail to the big trees. The old-growth forest trail to the pine grove is a loop that is 1.25 miles long. It's a very nice trail. I took it and it's a nice trail for the family. The old-growth forest is an even-age stand of pines estimated to be between 350 and 375 years old. The tallest trees are between 150 and 160 feet tall and have a girth of more than 4 feet in diameter. A day-use area and a network of four-season trails for summer hiking and winter cross-country skiing and mountain biking. The park offers a number of programs and special events throughout the year. There are 2 foot trails on the south side of M93, the wooded Au Sable River Foot Trail. That is a very nice trail, but I would recommend for a family. It does take quite a while to take, at least about 3 hours. That trail is approximately 3 miles in length and takes hikers across the East Branch at 2 different locations. The Mertz Grade Trail winds through forest and fields for approximately 2 miles and was named for the early logging railroad spur it shares for a portion of its distance. Salin Hanson Lumber Company heavily logged much of the property within Hartwick Pine State Park during the 1880s and 1890s. The CCC, or the Civilian Conservation Corps, planted many of the park's trees in the 1930s as part of a massive restoration effort. Hence, this forest is known as second growth forest. There are 4 small lakes located within the park. 2 of the lakes were originally named Bright and Star Lake. However, there were too many Star Lakes, so they settled on Bright and Glory Lake. The visitor center has an auditorium that could seat 105 people and an extraordinary 9-projector multi-image slideshow. The show is approximately 14 minutes long and shares the story of the logging from the past right up until today. The auditorium is used for presentations and programs. Changes in drilling technology are making it possible to drill for oil and gas under historically non-productive strata in northern Michigan, including sections of the state forests. The state of Michigan decided in September 2014 not to auction off mineral rights under the Hartwick Pines. That was an amazing idea. Thanks for watching the slideshow of Hartwick Pine State Park. Now I am going to talk about one of my favorite things in the state park, the little chapel on the hill. Or, as the park calls it, the chapel in the pines. This is a very neat area of the state park. The chapel on the pines is located about 1 mile down the trail, down the 1¼ mile trail actually, that I said was good for the families. It's back in there about halfway. It's on top of the hill. It's a little log chapel where you can get married there and at certain times of the year, and they have some events there. It's a very neat spot, and I'm going to tell you a very neat poem about the chapel right now. A tiny chapel on a hill, perched high above a lumber mill, with stately pines to keep it safe for those who come with love and faith. What memories this place must hold, some of them new, most of them old. So many stories it could tell, events in time remembered well. This church among the lofty boughs has witnessed many wedding vows. It watched the mighty monarch in and mourned the passing of a friend. For countless years the chapel's walls have listened to the wild bird calls and offered peace to those who came and shelter from the wind and rain. Escape the trap of stress and strife, insignificant your daily life. A simply chapel in the pines, many lead you to more peaceful times. A gentle path wind up the hill, the chapel door is open still. Take a moment and linger there. Maybe there's even time for a prayer. Joanne Dickerson Peters. Well, there you go, Chapel on the Hill. You might have wondered in the poem what the monarch was. Well, the monarch it used to be one of the biggest trees in the park until a storm took it down. Here is some photos of the monarch. My favorite thing they have at Hartwick Pine State Park is the visitor center. They have amazing stuff in there, exhibits with fish, turkeys, ruffed grouse, wolves, and all other kind of animals. Tells you about the park, tells you how trees grows, tells you all the winter activities there, and they have operating sawmill exhibits, talks about the railroads, Michigan DNR, and all kinds of very neat stuff, including this. They have a ski making class there in the winter, and bird watching tours in the summer, and it's a very neat thing to see. And there's even a big glass area to watch all your favorite little animals, including black-capped chickadees, grosbeaks, dark-eyed juncos, and look at this little guy, a little red squirrel. Then they also have black squirrels, gray squirrels, and all kinds of squirrels, flying squirrels. And one very neat thing about the park is these really rare birds. I talked to the ladies there that ran the park, and they said these very rare birds have a course. They have a path that goes through Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. Only 10 or 20 of them off one little flock cut all the way up to Hartwick Pine State Park, eat, stay the night, go all the way back down south, and get on their course and go again. That was a very interesting story. Another nice thing about the park is they have a gift shop which sells all kind of books, t-shirts, hats, and the lady in there, you can ask her about bird watching, and she'll give you a bird watching checklist to go around the park and check off the birds. Another thing they have here is this quilt. They have quilt raffles every couple months. Look at this neat one with the lighthouses on it and everything, the Michigan. Another very neat time to come to the park is during maple syrup days. Maple syrup days, you go around with a guy and you can look at these cookers, like these images right here, and you can look at all the neat old blogging equipment around the park. Like I said, a guy goes around and shows you how to do maple syrup, how to tap trees, how to get the syrup out, how to cook it down, and you can sit here and taste the Michigan maple syrup. You can also buy big bottles in the gift shop. The only thing I can say is what I always say about Michigan. You have to see for yourself about all the neat places. Thank you everybody for watching this week's episode of Exploring the Mittens. Now it's time for Exploring the Mittens trivia question for the night. Here is tonight's trivia question. Where is the last remaining virgin maple and beech hardwood forest in the state? Is it A, Warren Woods State Park? Is it B, William Mitchell State Park? Or C, Clear Lake State Park? The answer of tonight's trivia question of Exploring the Mittens is Warren Woods State Park. Thank you everybody for watching this week's episode, and catch next week's episode of Exploring the Mittens. Good night everybody, and thank you very much. Exploring the Mittens is made possible by Michigami Productions.